In a world that rushes, in a world that pulls at your mind and fragments your heart, you must learn to become both mountain and river, to stand firm in your being and still flow with grace through all change. The mountain does not move because of the wind. It does not collapse when storms strike. It knows its roots. It knows its form. It knows that time passes, and yet it remains. And so must you remain steadfast in who you are, unshaken by the noise, unmoved by shallow praise or sudden loss. But the river too is wise. The river does not resist. It flows. It adapts. It finds the path where none seems to exist. It does not break against the rocks. It moves around them over time. It carves canyons without force, without rage, with only presence and persistence. The ancients saw the value of both stability and flow. Socrates stood like the mountain in truth, but spoke with the gentleness of the river, asking questions that pierced souls and freed minds. He did not shout. He did not dominate. He simply moved in the current of deeper understanding. You too must find this balance, to be unwavering in your core and yet soft in your spirit, to be principled but not rigid, faithful but not inflexible, powerful but not hard. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." So when the world offends you, when people misunderstand you or challenge your way, do not let it uproot your peace. Remember, you are not the echo of the world. You are the voice of something deeper. You cannot control the storm, but you can control your sail. And when you know yourself, when you trust the compass of your soul, you will steer through waves that once would have drowned you. Aristotle spoke of moderation, of balance, of living in accordance with virtue, not chasing extremes, not lost in desire or retreating in fear, but moving always in harmony with the golden, mean that path, where courage walks beside wisdom, where action is guided by reflection. Do not be afraid to be still in a restless world. Your stillness is strength. Do not be ashamed to flow in a rigid world. Your flexibility is wisdom. To stand like a mountain is to be rooted in your values, your truth, your soul. To walk like a river is to move with life, to embrace the unfolding of each moment with grace. Heraclitus taught that all is flux, that no man steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. And in this teaching is your liberation. You are not meant to stay unchanged. You are meant to grow, evolve, transform, and yet at your center remains something eternal, a presence, a flame, a knowing. The logos that orders the cosmos also lives in you. It speaks not in the noise, but in the quiet, not in the chaos, but in the calm, not in the outer signs, but in the inner pull toward what is just, what is right, what is good. Be the mountain when others are lost in panic, when the world forgets itself, when falsehood rises and fear spreads. Hold to your ground and be a beacon of quiet courage. Be the river when change comes, when loss enters your life, when nothing seems certain. Flow forward, do not resist. Let the waters of life carry you to new places of becoming. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be whole, and wholeness is both rooted and flowing, both anchored and moving, both grounded and growing. So today, ask yourself, where must I stand and where must I flow? Where must I hold firm and where must I let go? Where must I be the mountain and where must I become the river? For in the dance of these two lives, the soul that is both unshaken and alive, the soul that stands without fear and walks without force, and that is the soul the world needs now, yours. There is a flame within you, not born of this world, yet burning through it, untouched by time, unharmed by loss, unshaken by failure. It is the flame of being the spark of divine fire that ancient philosophers spoke of, not in temples, not in books, but in the living presence of the human soul. Socrates knew of this flame when he said, "Know thyself, for in knowing the self, one touches the eternal, not the self of name or form, but the deeper self, the presence beneath the surface, the quiet that watches the mind, the stillness that hears the heart. This flame does not flicker with circumstance. It does not beg for attention. It does not boast or compare. It simply is like the stars. It shines in silence. Like the sun, it rises in peace. You have seen this flame in moments of deep love, when all thought fades and only connection remains, in moments of truth, when your voice speaks from a place deeper than your mind, in moments of courage, when you act not from fear, but from clarity. Plato wrote that the soul is immortal, eternal, and beyond corruption, and that each of us is a prisoner in a cave, mistaking shadows for truth, until the flame within lights the path to freedom. You are not a shadow of yourself. You are the light casting the shadow. You are not what the world sees or says or expects. You are that which sees all things and remains untouched. This flame cannot be lit from the outside. It can only be uncovered through silence, through simplicity, through the return to what you already are, not the noise of achievement or the masks of perfection, but the raw presence of existence. When Epictetus taught his students, he told them, "You are not your body, not your possessions, not even your thoughts. You are that which can choose. You are the will, the fire, the freedom. And once you awaken to that truth, no power in the world can enslave you. Do not forget your flame. When days grow heavy, when the future feels uncertain, when the world seems too loud for your soul, go inward and sit by the fire. Close your eyes, breathe deep, and remember who you are." The ancient Stoics spoke not of indifference, but of inner fire. They were not cold, they were grounded. They burned not with rage, but with resolve. They did not tremble before fate. They stood before it with the quiet power of the eternal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time, arguing what a good man should be. Be one for the flame. Needs no debate, it simply burns. You are not here to explain your light to everyone. You are here to let it shine, to warm the world around you, not with noise, but with presence, not with certainty, but with truth. You do not need to know everything to walk your path. You only need to stay near the flame, to trust its guidance, to honor its silence, to follow where it leads. There will be moments when the world tries to put out your fire, with doubt, with ridicule, with distraction, but the flame within does not belong to the world. It belongs to the divine, and the more you turn toward it, the more it grows, not outward in spectacle, but inward in depth and peace and radiant strength. Heraclitus said, "The soul is a fire, and only those who walk through their own darkness come to see its light. So walk through the shadows, not with fear, but with faith. Walk through the noise, not with resistance, but with reverence. Walk through the changes, not with panic, but with presence. You are the flame. You are the keeper of light. You are the still fire at the center of all storms. And when you remember that no night is too long, no wound too deep, no loss too final, because the eternal flame within you burns still and always will." If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.